Good afternoon and welcome to a short and snappy webinar where we're going to take a look at cell count reporting. We'll also have a look at the dry cow analysis module and try to explain basically the benefits and how you can interpret it. So last time Philippa covered importing a data stream. So the first thing I wanted to show you is just where you would go to look at the last milk recording. So if we go to the cow's head, go to milk management, and go to milk recording analysis. If you've imported your data stream, okay, then this is where you'll see the results. If anybody is still having problems importing the data streams, please give the help desk a call and we'll talk you through that, because we had a lot of people actually attend that particular webinar. So here you'll be able to see the results. So we can see obviously milk, fat, protein, somatic cell counts. We also have the SPP deviations, but that's something that we'll come to on another webinar. And I just wanted to point out the one bit. If you have a look at the graphs, there's some pretty good information on this section. So we can look at the milk yield based on days in milk. We also have the SPP, fat and protein. So the blue line, the SPP, again, we can see that based on days in milk. And then we have the somatic cell counts, the milk yield, and the SPP together. So we can see the bottom line there, that's the somatic cell counts, again, based on days in milk. So on that section, we're looking at the last recording.
How can I look at cell counts over a period of time?
Okay, well, if we close that, you'll find this information if we go to the cow's head. You go to number 4, health and treatments, and then number 1, cell count analysis. The use of colors are important in this report, and you'll see that green is a cure. So that means that we had a high level and it's now been cured. It's below the threshold that we've set. Purple, that's a chronic. So that means it's been consistently above our threshold. And the red one, that's a new infection. The vertical line that you'll see there, that's where a cow's actually been treated for mastitis. So we can see that not only did she have a high cell count, she's also been treated. And also if you want to change the threshold, so I set this herd, whereas the cows are 200. So if a cow goes above 200 for the first time, that means it's going to go red. If she stays on the next recording above 200, we then consider it chronic and it'll be purple. So I set the cows at 200 and I set the first calves at 150. But if you want to change that, you just go to properties and you'll see there, you can edit that and then click on the bottom left, save settings, say okay, and that will then recalculate the report. On this report, you can basically sort the cows in a number of ways. So if Philippa clicks on percentage of total, and then clicks again, we'll then see the cows that contributed the most. So that's 5469. And I can also see that out of 5 recordings, on 4 occasions, she's been above that threshold. So again, if you really want to look at the cows that are persistent problem cows, if we just click that column where it says times, and then click it again, so we can see that, 254 out of 19 recordings on 9 occasions, she was above the threshold. Or the cow below that, 698, out of 9 recordings, on 8 occasions, she was above it. So if we now go down to the graphs, and this is the report that I really like because there's a lot of information on this. So we have the breakdown, and on the bottom left-hand side, we can look at the first calvers or the second calvers, but here we're looking at the herd in its entirety. And there were 33 cows that were above 500. Then if we go to, that was based on the last recording. But if we want to look over a period of time, which is what Philippa said, if we then go to somatic cell counts over the last 2 years, we can then see what's happening. So the red line, that's the herd average. And the blue line, that's the percentage of cows above 400,000. If we then go to the next tab, we have different sections here. So the green section, what that means is the cow's cured. So if we just highlight one cow, and we look at this cow here, so that's 3421. What this graph tells us is that on the recording in January, she was at 700. But on the latest recording, on the 4th of February, she was just above 50. So she's in the block that we consider to be cured because they were high, but on the current recording, they're now low. And if we go across to the next block on the right, these are cows that are chronic because they were high on the recording in January. And again, they were high in the recording in February. So all cows within that block we're considering as chronic. And then at the bottom, we have our new infections. So then if we want to dig deeper, if we go to the analysis per milk recording, so it looks at each recording and it then breaks down the percentage of new infections, chronic, cured, and cured, as I said, is they were high previously and now they're okay. And then finally, we've got the healthy ones. So what I can see on this one, if I look at the recording in February, I can see there's 9.3% were new infections. So normally, if I look at this report, I'll then go to the tab new infections. And here we can see that on that recording in February, it was high. So ideally, we want it to be below 8%, and our target is below 5%. So we're not doing super badly, but we can see there are some peaks there that are higher than we would want. Then the next one I normally go to would be the trend. And this is quite a busy graph, so the best way I think to look at it is if we just take out the second calvers and take out the older cows, what we're looking at now is just the first calvers. And I set the target, again, that was in properties, at 150. And then we can see per recording what we actually achieved just looking at first lactation animals. So the top line, 150, that's our target. And the trend, when we look at all these recordings, is they're running at about 85. So if we take the first calvers out of it, and let's have a look at the second lactation animals. So in second lactation, I set the target at 200. Ideally, we want it below 150. And for the second calvers here, we can see that the trend is 120. So the trend is looking good, but we can see there's a couple of spikes there. So we'll take that out and then we'll go to the older cows. And what we've got here is the target was 200, that's the purple line. The dotted line, that's basically, we want it below 150. So in fact, with the older cows, we're higher than we want to be. We're running at around 230. And then the final one is the average somatic cell count at the first milk recording after calving. So there's a lot of information here. There really is a lot of information. Is there anything else you'd like to see?
Yeah, is there anywhere I can see how effective the dry off period has been?
Yep, so if we close that, so all that information I just showed you there, that was in cell count analysis. But if we now go across and we have a look at dry off analysis, okay, we'll have a look at the dry off results. And on this one, there's a graphic, but yeah, I tend to go straight to the grid on this one. And what it will show us is basically, yeah, if we just select grid, okay. These are the cows that had the first milk recording after calving. So if I look at, let's say in this one here in July, so of the 29 cows that had their first milk recording after calving, we consider 65% of them were healthy. So what that means is that they finished low and they came in low. So that was good. We've then got the 6 cows were cured, that's 21%. And what we're saying there is that they finished high. So you can see it's really important that you get your threshold set at the correct figure that your advisor or you as a farmer want it to be set at. So they finished high when they were dried off, but they were cured and they came in low on their first milk recording. We only have 2 cows that were chronic. And if Philippa clicks on the little icon there, you can see which cows. So the one cow, unfortunately, has left the herd, and 3376, she came in at 706. So that means she finished high and she came in high. And then finally, we only had 2 cows that were new infections. So again, if we click on the blue eye, we can see the one cow is gone and the other one did come in actually very, very high. So what happened here was they finished their lactation and they were low on their last recording, below the threshold, but they've come in high. So I think that is a really good report to show the advisor and your vet, whatever, and just make sure the targets are meeting what you want for your farm. If we go back to dry off analysis, then we can look at it for treatments, so we can break it down per treatment. And the other one that I think the great thing with Uniform is, even though we've been doing it a long time, we still keep coming across reports that we look at and we think, well, that could be really useful. So this one here, if we will just select it, it will take a little bit of time because it's quite a big database, this. But really what we're looking for here is, were cows dried off for the correct amount of time? So what it will do is it will show us that cows who are dry for too short a period, and then cows that we've dried off for a very long period. And again, that will then indicate whether they were healthy or not healthy. So we can see hopefully the majority there between 40 to 60 days. So each dot is a cow. So if we highlight one of the cows here, this cow's actually gone, but we can see that she was only dry for 29 days, and she had a high recording when she came in. So if we just go back to dry off analysis, I think this is a really, really good section of the program. And if you have any questions on it, we'll be really happy just to go through your data, take you through the reports, and just show you, what we can see. So any questions, please give us a call. I've tried to make it short and snappy because we know that you guys are super busy, but hopefully you found it helpful. What are we doing next?
Next time, which is on the 4th of May, we are looking at farm assurance reporting.
Okay, so do you volunteer for that one?
It looks like it.
Excellent. All right, good. Okay, we look forward to speaking with you. If anybody's got any questions, please type the questions in and we will come back to you. And there's a very short survey. You're very good at doing that. We really appreciate it because it just gives us an indication if we're actually covering the right subject. So hopefully you found that helpful, and we look forward to speaking with you on the 4th of May.